Cognitive strategies are tools or methods or strategies that you can use to solve a problem or figure something out or learn something or remember something. So a cognitive strategy that I like, that I found, is called SCUBA-D or SCUBA-Dive. This is for if students don't know a word. If they stumble across a word they're reading and they don't know what it means, instead of just skipping it or immediately asking somebody for help, this could get them used to trying to figure out the word on their own, based on their prior knowledge and resources. So this is the acronym that I would teach my students, and I would have a poster of this, a big poster hanging on the wall, and preferably for the ELLs, I would like to have a picture for each point. So what they would do is they would start with the first one. If that doesn't help, they'd move on to the next one. Starting with S, sound it out. Sometimes kids just see a word that's intimidating and long and just skip it. But if you teach your students, if you just sound it out, hey, you might have heard that word before, you may know it. If they still don't know it, move on to C. Check the clues in the sentence. So context clues within the sentence. Maybe the sentence kind of gives you a definition of the word. If that doesn't work out, teach your students to use the main idea and picture clues. And I think they naturally will look at pictures, and but the main idea is what you should probably stress. Read the main idea, maybe go on to read the whole paragraph. If the paragraph, does it make sense? What do you think this word might mean if this is happening in the paragraph? Moving on to B, if that doesn't help, break the word into parts. So what they can do is break the word into parts like prefixes, suffixes, or root words, and they might know that, or even just ATION at the end of the word already kind of gives them an idea of what this word might be. So breaking it apart might help. But another point that I'd like to stress is this is a good thing for ELLs to do, because sometimes if they break apart the word and they find a root word or part of a root word that sounds like a word in their language, that might help them find the definition of that word. So that is something that I've done as a former ELL myself, and I actually still do that today. I use my other language sometimes to help me out with words that I don't know. Next one, A, ask for help. So if none of these work, you can ask a teacher or a neighbor, and even if nobody knows, if the teacher's busy, last one, you can dive into the dictionary. That should help. So 3 reasons that I really like this strategy is because first, it makes the students more independent. It really trains them to think on their own, try to figure out the word on their own. 2, even if they go through all of these and they don't help, they end up having to ask for help or use a dictionary, at least they've thought about the word and now they have a deeper context of the word and they've thought about it, so maybe they'll actually remember that word a few weeks later because they've put so much thought into it. And the 3rd reason is for tests. If they have to do independent work or take a test and they can't ask a teacher or use a dictionary, at least they'll have something. They won't just skip a word or just guess on a word, but they'll have some kind of way to figure out what a word means. And I think that's really helpful for ELLs and for just everybody else in the class. So this is really helpful. I hope that this is useful and that you would use it in your classroom.